Imagine you wake up in tall ferns. The air is thick, wet, too warm. You don't recognize a single plant around you. And somewhere in the tree line, something is breathing. Not panting, not growling, breathing, slow and enormous and close. You are a healthy adult human being. You have fire. You have spears. You have 300,000 years of accumulated instinct telling you exactly what to do when a predator finds you. None of it will help, because the thing in the ferns weighs 8,000 kilograms, and it has never in its life met anything it was afraid of. Here's the question nobody asks properly. We picture cavemen and dinosaurs together all the time. Cartoons, movies, cereal boxes, but 66 million years separate us. That gap is so wide that T-Rex lived closer in time to your smartphone than to Stegosaurus. So let's actually run the experiment. Drop a tribe of early humans, say 30 Homo sapiens with fire, stone tools, and language, into the late Cretaceous. Do they last a week? A generation? Do they last at all? The answer is stranger than yes or no. Because the thing most likely to kill them isn't the one you're picturing. Start with the part you can't see. The Cretaceous atmosphere was not our atmosphere. Carbon dioxide levels were somewhere around 4 to 6 times higher than today. Global average temperatures ran roughly 6 to 10 degrees Celsius warmer. There was no permanent ice at either pole. Forests grew inside the Arctic Circle. Humans can handle heat. We're actually built for it. We sweat better than almost any animal alive, which is why we can run antelope to death over a long enough afternoon. But we can only sweat if the air will take the water. In hot, humid air, sweat stops evaporating. And when sweat stops evaporating, cooling stops. A healthy human in high heat and high humidity can go from fine to organ failure in about 6 hours, doing nothing at all. Much of the Cretaceous interior would have been survivable. Uncomfortable, but survivable. The coasts and the swamps, where the food was, would have been at the edge. So our tribe moves inland, higher ground, cooler nights. They survive the air. Then they get thirsty and hungry, and they have to walk into the forest. And the forest is where the real problem starts. You've been told the Cretaceous was lush. It was. That doesn't mean it was edible. Grass existed, we found it in fossilized dinosaur dung, but there were no grasslands, no wheat, no barley, no rice. Every single grain crop that feeds humanity today is a product of the last 10,000 years of deliberate breeding. Fruit existed, barely. Flowering plants were spreading fast, but Cretaceous fruit was small, seedy, and mostly designed for beetles and birds, not for a primate stomach. No apples, no potatoes, no legumes worth the effort. What there was, in enormous quantity, was conifer, fern, cycad, and horsetail. Most of which are indigestible, several of which are actively poisonous. Cycad seeds contain neurotoxins that cause progressive paralysis. And here's the cruel part. Our tribe has no way to know which is which. Every food plant humans eat was identified by someone, somewhere, eating something and watching what happened. That knowledge cost lives. It took thousands of years. In the Cretaceous, that database is worthless. Every plant is unknown. Every meal is a coin flip. So they do what humans always do when the plants fail. They'd hunt. And that, surprisingly, is where they'd actually start winning. Because dinosaurs had never seen anything like us. Every predator in the Cretaceous was shaped by tens of millions of years of arms race with its prey. Armor, speed, size, herd behavior. Nothing in that ecosystem had evolved a defense against a coordinated tool-using pack that throws. Think about what a spear actually is. It's the ability to apply lethal force from 20 meters away. There is no counter-adaptation to that in the Cretaceous. Nothing had ever needed one. And we know exactly how this goes, because we've watched it happen. When modern humans arrived in Australia, in the Americas, on every island we ever reached, the large animals disappeared. Not slowly. Within centuries. Mammoths, giant ground sloths, moa, diprotodons. The pattern is called naive prey. Animals that have never encountered humans don't run soon enough. By the time they learn, they're gone. So a human tribe in the Cretaceous wouldn't just survive the small dinosaurs. They'd farm them. Nesting sites full of eggs, undefended for hours. Juvenile hadrosaurs, slow and stupid and delicious. Hundreds of kilos of protein sitting in the open. For maybe a generation, our tribe would live better than any hunter-gatherers in history. And then the balance would correct itself. Hard. Because being the smartest thing in the forest doesn't matter when something with a 2-meter skull decides your food. Tyrannosaurus rex had enormous olfactory bulbs, proportionally among the largest of any dinosaur measured. It could smell you long before it saw you. Its eyes faced forward, with binocular vision estimated to be sharper than a hawk's. It could see you, it could smell you, and it could cover ground faster than you can. But T-Rex isn't the real threat. Large predators are rare. You can avoid them. The threat is the ones your size. Small, fast theropods, the dromaeosaurs and troodontids, were bird-brained in the literal complementary sense. Some had huge eye sockets, which strongly suggests low-light vision. excellent night hunters. And here's the problem with fire. Fire works on mammals because mammals have spent 60 million years learning that fire means death by wildfire. Dinosaurs lived in a world where wildfires were constant background noise. High oxygen, dry conifer forests, lightning. Fire wasn't an anomaly, it was Tuesday. There is a real chance a Cretaceous predator would look at a campfire and feel nothing at all, which means the one thing that kept our ancestors alive through every night of prehistory, the ring of light, the circle of safety, might simply not work. They'd have to go underground. And if you're still here, still leaning in, that's the whole point of this channel. Quiet questions taken seriously all the way down. Subscribe and leave a like if you want more of these. It genuinely decides whether the next one gets made. Now, back into the dark. So here's what actually happens to our 30 humans. They don't build a village. Villages are visible. Villages get flattened by something that doesn't even notice it did it. They go where mammals had already gone. Burrows, caves, cliffside overhangs, small spaces with one entrance they can defend. They shift to night, not by choice, by selection. The ones active at noon in open ground die first, so within a few generations the survivors are the nocturnal ones. This isn't speculation, it's exactly what happened to our actual ancestors. For over 100 million years, mammals were small, nocturnal, and hidden. There's a real hypothesis for it, the nocturnal bottleneck, and you can still read it in your own body. Poor color vision compared to birds, exceptional hearing, a sense of smell built for the dark. Your eyes are a dinosaur avoidance adaptation. So yes, early humans would survive. They'd survive the way rats survive, the way our ancestors actually did survive. Small groups, underground, awake at night, eating eggs and insects and whatever they could steal. Intelligent and completely irrelevant, because here's the thing about civilization. Agriculture needs grain that doesn't exist yet. Cities need surplus, and surplus needs storage, and storage attracts things that weigh more than a bus. Metallurgy needs settlement. Writing needs leisure. Every step in the ladder from cave to spacecraft requires one thing above all others, not being eaten while you think. The Cretaceous never granted anyone that. We didn't inherit the Earth because we were smart. Intelligence was already there, buried in burrows, hiding from the light, waiting. We inherited the Earth because for 66 million years, nothing large enough to stop us was left standing. Our ancestors survived the age of dinosaurs by being too small to matter. They only became human once the world got quiet. So the honest answer to the question is this: early humans would have survived the dinosaurs. They just would never have become us.